And welcome to True Sports episode 60. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor. The Vegas Golden Knights emerged victorious again, but in rout fashion this time, 7-2 over the Florida Panthers in Game 2 of the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup Final. Vegas has a 2-0 series lead. Wow.
Ugly as sin.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, a Vegas sin is right, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh boy. No pun intended, of course. But Florida just looked lost. Almost from the get-go. Once Vegas scored the first goal from there, I think they were onto something. And that's the first time that Vegas, has um had the lead and was able to keep it. They took the early lead, they didn't fall back. They didn't have to, rally back from behind to catch up and win. They took the early lead and they kept it, which has been
Yeah,
unusual
they
for them.
kept it, yeah. That was pretty savage.
Yeah. But like I said, Florida was gonna be a tough time for the series for the Panthers, and so far it looks like it's showing that. That was the Panthers' worst uh, playoff loss since losing to the Avalanche in that '96 game when they lost 8-2. That was bad enough.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that game was. Ah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, yeah.
Yeah.
So, game three of that Stanley Cup final, before we get to the NBA, game three is Thursday at 8 on TNT. It's not Wednesday, it's Thursday.
Right. Well, Wednesday you got the NBA game three, and there's no way they'll do two on the same night.
Yeah, so,
You
yeah,
you do
so
that, you're stupid.
tomorrow we don't have any final games.
Oh,
No, we don't have any NHL or NBA final games, no.
yeah. What a shame.
Yeah, just take, yeah, we just it's like taking the
Yeah,
day off, but at
yeah.
the same but at this at the exact same span of time, um,
Right.
uh, we still enjoy watching those,
Oh yeah, I know
nonetheless.
I do. Yes, of course.
Game three shifts to Miami. So what do the Heat need to get to do and to get back? Oh wait, so the series is actually tied on one. The Heat actually,
One piece, yeah.
yeah, the Nuggets.
Yeah.
The Nuggets defense was not very good. They just they need to play more discipline than they did
Yes.
in game two.
I think they got a little bit overconfident in game one. And remember, Miami was starting to make a little bit of a surge towards the middle of the fourth quarter, and it put a little scare in Denver. So I think that might have shook them up a bit even in this series. They were up by 15 points last night, and they just lost control. I think they get a little bit too overconfident, thinking, we could beat this team up the seat of their pants. Well, you might want to rethink that. You need better strategy because you're losing it. And if you don't, change your strategy, it's going to cost you. Especially when you got Butler breathing down your neck.
Jimmy Butler, that is.
Yes.
So speaking of the NBA, my Pistons got a new assistant coach, Steven
Yeah.
Silas, alongside new head coach Monty Williams.
Hmm.
So wonder, man, I can't wait till November to see how they do.
Yeah. Well, you knew it wasn't going to be long before Williams was going to find a job again. Because first of all, he didn't deserve to be fired in the first place.
No,
No,
absolutely
and
not.
neither did,
No,
and neither did Doc Rivers of Philadelphia. No, there was no reason to fire him. They had their best season in over 20 years and 54 wins in the regular season, and you still fire him. Why? Where's the logic in that?
none.
None.
All right, so Tigers' so-called starting pitcher Joey Wentz gets rocked again.
Mm,
4 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs on 7 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. he is not major league caliber at all. He needs to be sent down.
If you need pitchers like that, there's no way he's going to be caliber.
Nobody would want him. Nobody in the
No.
major league level would want him. No team would want him. So, all right. So the rest of there are at least a few MLB games to
Yep.
cover, and it's time for your True Sports Report. Lewis, go ahead. As the Padres
We
lead the
got
Cubs 8-0, bottom of the eighth inning, bases loaded on MLB Network.
ah. Okay, I just gotta update my scoring because I only have it 5-0, but they're still beating him. Okay, now
Now
we're
top of
now
the
we're up there.
ninth.
Okay, I had to update my page. Okay, everything else is okay. We're going to the top of the ninth with the Padres leading the Cubs 5-0. Wisdom, Mazzabal, and Mancini are up. Let's see if there's any wisdom left in this lineup. Oh, that's bad. All the rest are final. Rays over the Red Sox 5-1. Uh, Clanahan got the win. Bello got the loss, and Adam got the save. Phillies over the Tigers 8-3. Nola got the win. Wentz got the loss. Ugh. And his ERA, oh my God, yeah, 7.49. You're not gonna win games like that if you have that kind of an ERA. Oof. Okay. Marlins over the Royals 9-6. Garnett got the win. Mayers got the loss, and Florio got the save. Pirates edged the A's 5-4. Perdomo got the win. Mole got the loss, and Holdman got the save. But the A's lost again. Astros over the Blue Jays 11-4. Bellick got the win, and Mahan got the loss, and that ends the Blue Jays winning streak. Reds over the Brewers 2-0. Abbott got the win. Tarahan got the loss, and Diaz got the save. Rangers over the old pop-up strikes again. Okay. Anywho, before I was interrupted, the Reds over the Brewers 2-0. I'll say it again because I got a little bit interrupted. Abbott got the win, Tarrant got the loss, and Diaz got the save. And finally, the Rangers over the Cardinals 4-3. Smith got the win, and Cabrera got the loss. I think it's Will Smith, but it's not the Will Smith you guys are thinking of.
Nope.
Okay?
There are
Yeah.
different Will Smiths around on this
Yes.
earth. Don't be fooled.
Right. Because then there'll be a nightmare on everybody's street. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So tomorrow's schedule, a full schedule indeed, since it's Tuesday. And it goes like this. Okay, all night games. 6:40, your Tigers take on the Phillies, and the Royals take on the Marlins. Oh, and another 6:40 game. The Twins take on the Rays. 7:05 games. The D-backs take on the Nationals. The White Sox take on the Yankees. The A's take on the Pirates. 7:10. Astros take on the Blue Jays. Your 7:10 games are the Red Sox taking on the Guardians. Dodgers take on the Reds. And 7:20 the Mets take on the Braves. 7:40 the Orioles take on the Brewers. 8:05 the Cardinals take on the Rangers. That's the Texas Rangers now. 8:40 the Giants take on the Rockies. 9:38 the Cubs take on the Angels, and 9:40 the Mariners take on the Padres. You notice how I say the Texas Rangers because, of course, out here we have a Rangers team. That's the New York Rangers. So I thought I'd just specify on that, just to avoid confusion. Okay, so now to the standings. In the AL East, yeah, the Rays are still in front, 43-19, have a 4.5 game lead over the Orioles, 37-22. Yankees had the day off, and they're still 36-25. Blue Jays, 33-28, 9.5 back, and the Red Sox are 30-30, 12 back. Over to the Colony Central, the Twins 31-29, have a 3.5 game lead with the Guardians at 27-32. The Tigers 26-32, 4 back. The White Sox 26-35, 5.5 back, and the Royals 18-42, 13 back. Ugh. The West Rangers 39-20 have a 3.5 game lead with the Astros at 36-24. The Angels 31-30, 9 back. The Mariners 29-30, 10 back, and the A's are still the A's, 28.5 back at 12-50. Yes, that's right, 50 losses, and it's only June 6th. Wow. And on pace to break the Major League record for the worst season ever. Okay, in the National League in the East, the Braves are 35-24, have a 3.5 game lead over the Fish. The Marlins, that is, 33-28. Mets had the day off. They're 30-30 at 5.5 back, and have an important series against the Braves coming up. So this could be maybe an indication of make it or break it, sort of. Phillies 28-32, 7.5 back, and the Nationals 25-34, 10 back. To the other Comedy Central in the NL, the Pirates are 32-27. The Brewers are 32-28. The Reds 27-33. Oh, hold it. The Brewers are a half game back at 32-28. 5.5 back are the Reds at 27-33. Also 5.5 back are the Cubs at 26-32. Yeah. And the Cardinals 25-36, 8 back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Pirates are in first place. I am not making this up.
Wow, your
You know,
name tree's gonna love this.
oh yeah,
But then again, he's too smart to do this.
that's
He's
true.
too smart to. They got
Yeah,
lucky.
I'm just amazed at this. They've been perennial losers for the last 25 years or so, and now they're in first place. I don't
Yeah,
believe
look, kind
myself.
of like the Tigers are lucky enough to be as high as second place
Yeah,
in the
but at
AL
least
Comedy Central.
right, but at least the Pirates have a winning record.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Somehow.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, in the West, we still have a tie between the D-backs and the Dodgers, 35-25. This is going to be good. Giants 29-30, 5.5 back. Padres, yeah, 27-32, 7.5 back, and the Rockies 26-35, 9.5 back. Oh, boy. We got some college baseball news here as I think we're now entering the super regional round.
Padres beat the Cubs 5-0 final.
Yes, I'll put it in when the game we're done with the part here. One game left with the college ranks tonight, and so far Stanford is leading Texas A&M with a bomb the eighth, 5-1. All the rest of the final as Florida, number 2, beat Texas Tech 6-0. TCU beat up Arkansas, number 3 ranked, 12-4, so they are out. Penn State over number 5 ranked LSU, number 5 ranked, beat Oregon State 13-7. So at least they're still intact. A lot of upsets in this first round. Duke over number 10, Coastal Carolina 12-3. Kentucky number 12 over Indiana 4-2. And finally, Southern Miss over Pennsylvania 11-7. Both teams unranked. So, all right, and of course, tomorrow, game 3, as the Miami Heat take on the Denver Nuggets. And like we said, the series shifts to Miami. And home advantage put this team ahead and become, like an upset with Miami. We'll see. It depends on if Jimmy Butler is on his game or not. So, okay, now we'll get on with the news. Yeah, I'll start with my pages first. Okay. So anyway, the Phoenix Suns have hired David Fizdale as assistant coach, luring him out of the Jazz front office with a substantial deal. Sources told ESPN today. Fitzdale joined the Jazz front office as an associate general manager last season and had a history with Suns' new head coach Frank Vogel, and even a longer history with general manager James Jones. Fizdale joins associate coach Kevin Young on Vogel's coaching staff. The Suns made Fizdale the highest paid coach at $2 million, assistant coach at $2 million per season. Sources said that before making the financial commitment to Fizdale. The Suns have been determined to surround Vogel with an accomplished and veteran staff. Fizdale was head coach of both the Knicks and the Grizzlies for parts of 4 seasons, and did take the Grizzlies to the Western Conference Finals. But his record was far from superior, as he had an overall record of 71 and 134. And that worries me. Victor Wembanyama's next few weeks are set. He will play in the French League finals that begin this week, actually this weekend. And then the Spurs are certain to select him as the top overall draft pick, which begins on June 22nd. And if it means that the star from France Summer League comes to Sacramento and not Vegas next month, the NBA has no problem with that whatsoever. League Commissioner Adam Silver says the league does not have a preference regarding the site of Wembanyama's first game with the Spurs, while the NBA summer leagues are the biggest. All 30 teams that commands the most attention. There are smaller leagues that precede the Vegas event by just a few days. Sacramento plays host to one of those events this season, and the Spurs are one of 6 teams headed there in the summer season. All summer leagues are NBA summer leagues, said Commissioner Silver, as he told the Associated Press. I am very supportive of the Sacramento League. I remember when Kings owner Vitek Rendabive first came into the league and said this was something that he wanted to do. I said, as long as you have enough teams to support it and players want to play it, it's a good thing. The Spurs and the Hornets will both have up in Sacramento summer play against each other, and set potential matchup for the number 1 and 2 before Vegas begins on July 7th. The Hornets have the second pick in the draft as well, so these two teams can meet up even before the Vegas league begins. This could be good. Montreal Canadiens have made a commitment to young scorer Cole Caulfield, agreeing to terms on an 8-year, $63 million deal. Okay, if you want exact numbers, $62.8 million. Close enough. He tied the team leading goals scored this season with 26, and it's the second straight year he paced the Habs. This season, though, he did in only 46 games as he was shut down due to shoulder surgery. After a successful stint with the U.S. national team development program, Caulfield went to the University of Wisconsin and led the nation in goals and scoring. He won the Hobie Baker Award as the top college player, but Montreal was able to get Caulfield as a 15th pick in the draft because some teams were concerned about his 5'7" frame. That's all he is. In a 10-game stint with Montreal, where he scored 4 goals in the 2021 season, Caulfield was the favorite to win the Calder Trophy the next season, but stumbled out of the gate. He did return to play in 67 games and scored 23 goals. He was on a much bigger pace this season, despite suffering a dislocated shoulder in December. That shut him down for January and underwent surgery. But he was back skating with Montreal in April. All right. Okay, here's something I don't think you're going to believe, but we're going to put it in anyway. LeBron James will be the official starter for the 24 Hours of Le Mans race, according to race organizers today. The Lakers forward and the NBA's all-time leading scorer and, of course, 4-time champion, joins a list of stars who carried out the ceremonial role over the decades. Brad Pitt was a starter in 2016, and Steve McQueen, yes, that's Steve McQueen, lowered the flag in 1971 and starred in the movie called Le Mans in that same year. I think I've heard of that. King James will unleash the 62 car field when the race begins this Saturday. Oh boy. Okay. Former Houston Rockets coach Steven Salas agreed to join the Pistons as an assistant coach to Monty Williams today, as we mentioned. Salas was fired from the Rockets after his team finished 20 with a 22-60 record. Well, that you deserve to get fired. He was previously a top assistant coach for the Mavericks, Hornets, and Warriors. The Pistons agreed to hire Williams as new coach last week. Terms were not disclosed, but sources did tell ESPN that Williams did sign a new 6-year deal worth $78.5 million, the largest for a coach in NBA history. Williams was fired on May 13th, less than 2 years after reaching the finals and a year after winning Coach of the Year honors. The Pistons were 17-65 this season. Sorry. Will have the fifth selection in the draft later this month. 17-65. I wish I had better news. Sorry. All right. Hey, the Pelicans are hiring James Borgo as their next associate head coach, sources told ESPN. Borgo, who was head coach of the Hornets from 2018 to 2022, turned down several other offers to be a top assistant to take the job with the Pelicans. The Pelicans will also retain assistant coach Jaron Collins, who was head coach while Green's top assistant for the past 2 years, sources said. Moving along, Collins was also a finalist for the Pistons head coaching job. The Pelicans had an open position on their coaching staff after assistant coach Ryan Pallone left to take a spot on Alabama's basketball coaching staff. Borgo and Green just completed their second season head coach of the Pelicans and have a history together. Borgo spent 2 seasons as assistant head coach of the Pelicans from 2010 to 2012 when they still had the Hornets were still playing when they still were the Hornets. And Green played for the Hornets in the 2010-2011 season. After New Orleans, Borgo went to Orlando, where he was an assistant for the Magic from 2012 to 2015 and served as interim head coach in 2014-2015 season. That was Green's only year playing for the Magic and retired after that. Borgo led the Hornets to a 43-39 record in the 2021-22 season and went back-to-back trips in the play-in tournament, but was let go of April of last year. Good morning here. The Miami Heat found their way back into the finals against the Nuggets as they took Game 2 last night. Jimmy Butler explains why the Heat, who entered the postseason as the 8th seed, continues to win games. Here's the theory. I think it's because no one cares on our team. Butler said after scoring 21 points and 9 assists, we are not concerned about what anyone thinks. We are so focused on what we do and who we are as a group. That at the end of the day, that is what we fall back on. Make or miss shots. We are not worried about that or anyone else. This is how we've been all year long. This is not going to change. So that's what I think. It's the old I don't give a damn factor. Both Butler and head coach Eric Spoelstra have praised their tough-minded group for being able to win games no matter the circumstances. It's a mantra of the coach hit on again after the Heat pulled off the most stunning win to date. We faced a lot of adversity during the season, says Spoelstra. We handled it the right way. When you are not making excuses about it, the injuries, the lineup changes, etc., etc. Because of all the adversity and the 57 close games that happened due to a lot of that, it has hardened us, it has steeled us, and we have developed some tough grit, which is what we all want. The Heat were on the ropes as they were trailing by as much as 15 points in the first half. The Heat climbed their way back into another game as they leaned on Gabriel Vincent, who scored 23 points and hit several key shots and had to pick up the slack for Butler, who struggled on offense till late in the game when he made some key shots. Duncan Robertson scored 10 points in the fourth. Max Sturz scored 14 points after he was 0 for 10 in game one. Bam Adebayo, aka Bam Bam, had 21 points and 9 rebounds. And Kevin Love, who has not played since game 5 against the Celtics, had 10 rebounds. Yeah, if Butler doesn't step up, Gabe Vincent, I think, is going to pick up the slack with that. So there's your backup. Yeah, Gabe Vincent. Okay, Cowboy fans, I hate to do this, but I gotta do it anyway. Wide receiver Antonio Callaway was released from the Cowboys today after being arrested in Miami last week for driving with a suspended license. Oh boy. Callaway was signed to the practice squad last November, but never dressed up for a regular season game. He was competing for one of the last roster spots, but did not practice in the last 2 organized meetings open to the media. A former fourth-round pick in 2018 by the Browns, Callaway has not caught a single pass in the last 3 seasons. To replace Callaway, the Cowboys signed wide receiver Tyron Johnson, one of 7 players the club worked out. He has played for 4 different teams with 23 catches and 423 yards and 3 touchdowns. All but 3 catches and 24 yards came in 2020 for the now known as the LA Chargers. And you probably thought I was going to say San Diego. Oops. Okay. Here's something interesting here. Michael Vick, Terrell Suggs, and Larry Fitzgerald are among former players who were on the 2024 College Hall of Fame ballot, the College Football Hall of Fame ballot, that is. That was released today. The National Football Foundation was released in conjunction with the College Football Hall of Fame. The 2024 ballot comprised of 78 players and 9 coaches from the FBS, 101 players and 32 coaches coming from divisional ranks. Mm-hmm. There's more. Okay. All 3 are on the ballot in their first year of eligibility. Here's the interesting fact that I found. There have been over 5.6 million players that play college football, yet there's only 1,074 players that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Wow. Before being selected first of all in 2021, the Falcons, Vic played 2 seasons at Virginia Tech and went to a national title game in 1999. Vic finished 3rd in the Heisman voting that season as a freshman and guided Virginia Tech to an undefeated regular season at 11-0 before losing to Florida State in the Sugar Bowl in 2000. I remember that. Fitzgerald played for Pittsburgh for 2 seasons and had his best season in 2003, where he caught 92 passes for 1,672 yards and 22 touchdowns. The Cardinals selected Fitzgerald, who finished second in the Heisman to Jalen White in 2003 and was selected 3rd overall in the 2004 draft. Pitt retired his number in 2013. Suggs was selected 10th in 2003 by the Ravens and played 3 seasons at Arizona State. He finished with 163 tackles and 44 sacks and became ASU's all-time leader in sacks with 65 and a half. Voting continues through June 30th, and the announcement will be made early in 2024. The Bills continue to work on their pass rushing and agreed to terms on a 1-year deal with Leonard Floyd, sources from ESPN. After not adding the defensive line, Bills signed the defensive tackle Poona Ford to a 1-year, $2.25 million deal that includes a guarantee of $1.5 million last month. Defensive tackle Ed Oliver also agreed to a 4-year, $68 million deal on Saturday. Floyd adds presence to a Bills rushing group that includes his former Rams teammate Von Miller, who was coming up a major ACL injury he suffered in the Thanksgiving game that has a 9-month recovery window, putting his availability for the start of the season in question. To put it this way, folks, I doubt it. The Bills also have invested heavily in Oh, invested heavily in recent drafts at the position with second round picks AJ Esperanza and Boogie Basham, and first round
Alvarez
pick.
with a bomb to deep center in Toronto. Damn.
Yeah, our first round pick Greg Ruzio. You can't go wrong though with a name like Boogie. Oh boy. The Rams released Floyd after not being able to find a trade partner for the outside linebacker. He was drafted by the Bears in 2016, but was released before the 2020 season got started, even though the Bears did exercise his fifth year option. In 7 seasons, Floyd has 338 tackles, 103 quarterback hits, and 47.5 sacks. 47.5. Hey, Jake Berger's a game-ending grand salami handed Liam Hendricks his first win since returning from cancer, and the White Sox defeated the Tigers 6-2, completed the three-game sweep.
Good
Hendricks
for
worked a
Liam.
one. Yep, Hendricks worked a 1-2-3 ninth and struck out two. It was the third big league appearance for the All-Star closer, who missed the start of the season after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Back in my day, we called that Hodgkin's disease. The win by Hendricks coincided with, get this, coincided with National Cancer Survivors Day here in the U.S. Hopefully, I can continue to move forward and continue to at least I was doing the right thing on the field and give people some hope and continue to keep fighting. Yesterday, Hendricks gave up 2 runs on 3 hits and drew a walk to the Angels in the first outing since his recovery. Well, cut some slack a little bit, guys. Come on. He told reporters it was humbling to go out there, and now I have 3 innings of work under my belt. Yana Mansana and Tim Anderson walked with 1 out and loaded the bases for Berger, who hit a drive to left center field off Alex Lang for his 12th home run of the season. It was his first career grand slam and his first walk-off victory. And wonders never cease. I think I covered everything. Just to be sure. Yes, I did. I'll just check the college score to see if we have a game ending yet. That's the only game left in town. Yes, just went final. Stanford, number 8, over Texas A&M, 7-1. Okay, so I'll put that in, and I think the other game for baseball is over, or maybe not. Let me just check that
Yeah,
to be
yeah, they're all
sure.
final.
Okay, so that is a final. All right, then I'll just hand it back over to you.
All right, so Noah James 98. Holy crap, dude on the right. Yeah, I believe that's you, Lewis. But he says your head is huge as heck.
Oh wow, thanks. Yeah, it hurts too. Well,
Yeah, 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 I'm gonna kick him out.
good.
So, True Sports episode 60 with Taylor Phillips, with myself and Louis Tenor has come to an end. So, yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights lead the series two games to none. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna let anybody destroy our reputation or our character. So,
Everybody's a critic.
well, well, some are false critics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just want to talk shit or something. So, anyhow, that's episode 60. We'll be back Wednesday night for episode 61. Ta ta.
You got it. Good night.